What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, another winning trade recap. This is the third winner of the week. EurCad here this morning. As you can see the P&L right next to my head, it turned out to be an awesome trade. So in today's video, we're going to break down not only what I liked on EurCad, we're going to talk about a couple things I didn't like about it, and I'm also going to show you what everybody else in our VIP chat was trading today as well. So you're going to find a lot of value here. We're not going to just talk about our traditional A1 entry signals like you see here on the EurCad trade, but we're also going to talk a little bit about Divergence. You guys know I'm working on the course for that coming out next month. Almost finished it. I would say probably by the end of this week, it will be done as far as content goes, and then next week I'm going to start filming. It normally takes me about a week to film it, so I'm excited to get this out to you guys, and today we're going to, like I said, kind of dive deeper on the divergence topic a little bit because it helped confirm the trade that we're looking at here on EurCad. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the red subscribe button below me, join the team, give it a big thumbs up. That way we can reach more traders, kind of spread the knowledge here amongst the trading community, and hopefully this is going to help you make better trading decisions going forward. That's always the goal here with my videos. So if it does help you in any way, drop a comment, share it with your friends, please. That's all I ask. That's all we're doing this for, is just to, like I said, spread the gospel, if you will. So again, EurCad, let's start here. So this morning, long biased, EMAs are coming into an uptrend. We had a pretty good move up yesterday off some divergence on the bottom that I'm going to show you in a second. But because of the move higher yesterday, overnight, it held the EMAs, held the 800, held the 50, held the 200. That created the long bias. Open up the TDI confirmed that long bias being in the buy zone, not being overbought, not giving me any indicator that it was ready to come down. Now, if we go to the higher time frames, we look at the hour, as you can see, kind of coming off the 800 over the last day or so, bouncing, giving what looks like at least the start of an uptrend. 4 hour sideways, but if anything, going back to the end of November, this is moving higher, slowly, but it's moving higher. So maybe an uptrend there as well. So the long bias to me was very, very clear. You could zoom out on the higher time frames and still see a long bias. Here on the 15-minute, it was very clear. So when we broke out for a new high of day, this was 4 a.m. New York time. I was up, again, early today like yesterday, but not as early. Still, perfect timing really for me to catch this trade. So it broke out for a new high of day. I called the trade out in the VIP chat and in our free Telegram chat. If you're not in those, there's links below for you to get in those. But again, I called this trade out. It was pretty clear. A1 breakout, and it goes 30 pips, as you can see, all the way up to the top. Now, how did I know when to get out? First, my take profit idea was 2R. So once I was up over 2R, I was basically 75% out of the trade. I then had my stop loss locked in profit, and I was just managing the trade as it moved higher. My exit was 147, I think 06, right? Yeah, 147.06 right there was my best exit. It went up to 147.12. So I got it pretty close to the top. If you go to the 5 minutes, something that I want to start with as far as talking about divergence is just notice on the top here, the RSI started to fall off from about 6:30 on, as you can see, falling there from the high it set, but price action continued to rise. So that divergence there was one indicator to me that we might be seeing a top here when I was in the trade. Go to the 15-minute. The 15-minute was also overbought at that point, as you can see, for the second time at least. So that, again, another indicator telling me that we might see some type of a pullback. It might be a good area to take profit. We were up again over 2R, now seeing indicators of slowing. The divergence doesn't tell us that it's going to reverse. It's never a signal of full reversal. It's a signal that the market is changing. So here, when you see divergence on top and you're in a long position, you want to use the divergence to say, wait a minute, maybe I should be either moving my stop loss and taking some off, maybe taking off the full trade, whatever your trading plan calls for. For me, I need to be out of most of my position by the time I'm this far into the trade, which I was today. I followed the rules really well, which is why I'm very confident, very happy with this trade. But again, overbought on the 15-minute, becoming divergent here on the 5-minute as well. So those couple indicators to me tell me this is a good place to take profit. This was a good trade. Over 2.5R, take your money and go find another good trade. The negative about this trade, as you can see, is the EMAs not being in full trend overnight. You see them kind of picking up trend, crossing through the 800, which is the dark blue line. You see them doing that overnight. So they could have been better had they been in this fanned out full trend that they were here later in the day. But other than that, you see the TDI creates the long bias. You see the EMAs are moving, price action's moving higher. So everything there was basically long bias. Now, the divergence back here, you see RSI set its low at 430, price action sets its low at 830 yesterday. That created the idea that we might see a reversal. When we broke the 50 EMA yesterday, if we could hold that 50, I knew that we had the potential to see rise. Now today, when you come in and you wake up and you see this the day before, and you see it holding the 50, that makes you think, hey, we could still see rise. That divergence off the bottom is still holding strong. And even here on the 1 minute, if we really take it down, you can see there was divergence on the bottom here on the 1 minute off the 50 EMA. Now, when you're on the 1 minute chart, the 50 EMA is this dark blue 800 EMA because the time frame changes it. But here you can see that divergence very clearly. RSI low right here, 157, 156. Price action low right here, about an hour later, almost an hour later, 50 minutes. Right there, more divergence telling you to trust that indicator and trade this long. So a lot of confluence behind this trade today. I hope that my explanation here wasn't too fast. I hope that you can see how I was long biased, why I wanted to take my entry there. Of course, it was confirmed with the A1 signal, the signal we teach in our beginner course. This is the bread and butter. Like, this was such a textbook trade. It's beautiful. Now, on top of that, we had a couple of guys long Euro NZD. This thing decided to rip. So here again, EMAs were not great. They definitely could have been better in this setup, but the TDI makes us long biased. You see a level held with some divergence on the bottom yesterday, so same kind of idea, trading up towards the 800 EMA. Now, we had people in here at 168, like 94, 168, 93. These guys got like 8, 9 R out of this trade. Unbelievable if they held. I know some of the guys were in, not all the way to the top, but pretty close. I think it was 169.50 that they were out. So just a huge rip here. I know even a couple other people were in here a couple hours later at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they took this rip to the top. Now notice at the top, they all told me the same thing. They got out because they saw the 15-minute divergence. Overbought on the 15-minute. EMAs are not great. They got great money out of this trade. Look at the RSI falling. Look at price action rising. That tells you that something is going to change. It doesn't need to come all the way back down here, but it might stop moving higher. And that's exactly what it did. So they used the divergence here to exit the trade. You can use divergence for entries, which is coming in that course in January, but you can take from this YouTube video how to use divergence to tell you when to get out of a trade when it's going to slow down. So Euro NZD was on the watch list today. NZD CHF was something the guys were looking at as well. These fell off. All the GBP pairs fell off. NZD pairs fell off today. Just a very, very red day across the entire market. TDI short biased. As soon as this broke the 800 EMA right here, I knew that this thing could keep falling. Look at the break, the retest, and then it just fell all day. So for the guys that were up at 3 o'clock, this was easy money. Broke for a new low a day, right through the Asian session low, then it breaks the 800 EMA. You know this might have gas. Retest the 800 and boom. Never breaks the 21 to give you an exit signal. Never. So a nice rip here on that. And then let me show you GBP JPY too, just to go that. Same kind of idea, right to the 800, counter trend off the 21. Look, never breaks the 21 EMA all day. If you were able to hold this, look, 6R, 26 pip stop, 172 pips. GBP pairs, all of them just tanked today. Even GBP NZD, look, all of them very red today. From the breakout there for the new low, 129 pips. So a lot of red movement here across these GBP pairs, yet I was making money long the euro. And here, just one other thing I want to bring note to. Notice how it reverses and comes down lower. Actually would have blown through my stop loss had I held the trade in. This is a perfect example of why I don't like to swing trade. Being a day trader, I was able to take advantage of this pop with great risk reward, as you can see, 3R, and then not even have to worry about what it does later in the day, not have to worry about what the news does to it later in the day. So I hope from today's video, you guys not only learn from my EurCad trade, you see that yesterday where I didn't trade super well Euro GBP, that reminds me, I have to show you where that one is right now. If you follow me closely, you know we were looking at this yesterday. Look at this thing, 167 pips. Higher than that now, actually. 183 pips from where we were looking at this. This was a free call yesterday in the Telegram group. Look at that rip, right through the 800, counter trend here, divergence on 2 different days. Here last week, Friday, and then here to start the week. Very, very, very big rip there for this pair. Unbelievable. But anyway, if today's video helped you in any way, if it brought you value just from watching the EurCad or the GJ or even this on Euro GBP, if any of this brings you value, just drop a comment below. Let me know. Say, hey, this really helps me, or no, Austin, I don't care about divergence. I don't care about how you're entering the trades. I don't care about your entry signal, which I know none of you do, or none of you are going to say that. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any questions about it as well. If there's any specific video that you need from me, I'm more than happy to cover. We're going to keep pushing through. It's December 17th. We're going to push all the way through to Christmas Day with daily videos for you guys, bringing you value in any way that I can, talking about what's actually happening in the market. So as we get closer to Christmas, it might slow down on the live trade recaps. We might be talking about a little bit of a slower market, choppier market. So bear with me. January was very slow for me last year, but I'm surprised to see such great trades here so far in December as we get even closer to Christmas. So we're going to keep pushing. We'll be up tomorrow to do the same thing. And yeah, course coming soon. I appreciate the attention always, guys, and I will see you in the next trading video.